I need more storage. I don't have enough in my house. And so I am going to build wall-to-wall shelving in this garage. There's quite a bit of work that needs to happen in this garage, which I will probably talk about as I go through it. But first things first, I have to put stuff on a shelf because it is currently on the floor. Now this garage is nice in the fact that the structure is fine, the floor is fine, but I don't really like how a lot of the wiring is ran in this garage. So the biggest issue with this electrical is that it's all just Romex that is ran throughout the garage, and that was probably fine, and it still is probably fine when this garage was built, but it technically can't be Romex. The code actually specifies that it is in a conduit or some other protected casing. Now, I have no issue with it being Romex in a lot of these places because that conduit is really just there to protect the cable. And a lot of this Romex is just far out of the way. It's 8 feet above, 9 feet above, and it's kind of like tucked nicely against the top plates or the rafters, and it's really not a hazard. The only issue is that I want to run wiring behind my shelving, and that should be protected because bins will be pushed back there. You know, there might be tools, there might be sharp things, and that's where you can get into an issue with unprotected electrical wires. I also need to build shelves. And the shelves are arguably more important than the electrical because I just currently have stuff everywhere, and I need to organize it a little bit better. And the reason I need to organize it is, one, because we pull a card here and we need to walk through it every day, and we're constantly stepping over boxes or tools or just other items, and I would like to not do that. Two, my chickens are getting in here and they are pooping everywhere, and it smells gross, and I would like to pressure wash it out, but I have too much stuff on the floor. It would be either too difficult or everything would just get wet, and I'm not interested in that. So my plan with this shelving is to extend it from this wall all the way out to that wall. I also have a refrigerator in my garage, like any good Midwesterner does, and it's currently just kind of hanging out and getting in the way. And so my plan is to actually build it into the shelving so that it sits nice and out of the way. So that is the plan. The first thing that I need to do is I need to clear a bit of a workspace so that I can actually build these shelves and install these shelves. And unfortunately, that means taking the existing stuff off the shelf and making a bigger mess than is already in here. I'm gonna build these shelves almost exactly like you would build a stud wall, and I'm using 1/2" OSB, and I'm gonna space the studs every 16 inches. So it's exactly like a small wall, and then I'm just effectively going to lay it horizontally and secure it with some legs, and then also secure it to the back wall of my garage. I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to get all the lumber cut, and that should just make things a little bit easier. The cut list is very, very simple, and then I will put it all together. I am having a little bit of issues with my air compressor. I'm really hoping it either holds up or I can fix it, because I just really don't want to use screws. I'll probably use screws in some places, but it's just so much faster with a nail gun. Sun shirt, and I'll be back. This is an awesome jig if you don't have a track saw. Basically what it is it's two pieces of plywood that are just screwed together, and it is cut such that when you take your saw and you glide it across, the edge is basically your cut line. It's super simple to make, and it is super handy, especially if you need to rip long sheets of plywood. This is something that I stole from YouTube, from a channel called Essential Craftsman, and I've probably used it dozens of times since creating it. There's not much to building these actual shelves. Basically you just build a frame and then you put the OSB on top of it. I'm using the manufactured edge of the OSB to make sure my frame is square. I'm not going to use a lot of nails to secure the OSB to the frame like you would in a house. There's basically no structural requirement of this OSB. It's basically just a platform for stuff to sit on. So I'll put enough in, but I'm basically just going to pin it down and do enough to keep it square and do enough to keep it in place. That's all that's really required. Well, I just deleted an insane amount of footage, which is hilarious because I actually didn't get a lot done at all. But let me get you up to speed on what you missed, and I promise you it's not a lot. The bulk of my footage was actually me just installing these 3 shelves. It shouldn't take that long, and it doesn't take that long. The issue that I was running into was just more about the spacing of these shelves. So my top shelf height is going to be, I want the bottom of it to be 71 inches. That way my fridge shoves back in there cleanly. Basically, I wasn't able to get the math to work out very well so that I can optimize my space and have 4 shelves. Either the shelves would end up being too small and I really couldn't fit any bins back there, or they would be too big and I'd have a lot of leftover space on top, and it was just a poor use of space. And so what I ended up doing is I have this small shelf here And you can see I already have some bins on it. These are just meant for kind of either smaller or more medium-sized totes or medium-sized bins. And then I have the bottom, which is meant for larger bins, the ones that you put like your camping gear in, for example. Now the middle one is where I kind of made the compromise, and I made this one extra long or extra large. And the idea there is that I can double stack bins. I don't really want to double stack bins on the bottom because they're kind of a pain to get out. I don't want to double stack bins on top because it's kind of dangerous. And so that's actually a pretty good height for double stacking bins. So that's really as far as I got. There was also just a lot of apparently trial and error because I either don't know how to read a measuring tape, I don't know how to perform basic arithmetic, or I don't know how to look at a line. And so I actually ended up building those shelves like 3 times. And it was particularly unenjoyable. So where I'm at now is I have these 3 shelves that are sets of 8, or that are 8 feet long, and then I'm building this second set of 8-foot shelves. And that's honestly all that was missed. Like I said, it was just insane how terribly I assembled these shelves because I had to do it multiple times, and I spent a lot of time just messing around trying to figure out how to set them. So yeah, that's where we're at. These shelves are assembled. All the nails are in, they're completely done. So the only thing that we have left is we just need to put the stuff back on it. So everything we put on the floor in the beginning now goes back to its rightful home. that's basically it for this project. The shelves are all done. Everything that was on the floor is now on them. There's a few things that are just too big to put on the shelves or that we need to donate, so those are still laying around. But by and large, the garage is a lot cleaner. It's kind of crazy to see how much stuff was on the floor that we now found a home for on the shelf. I'll finish the electrical that I want to do here some other time. I have higher priority projects that I need to get to, particularly replacing some pretty significant damage on our breezeway. Until I can fix that, the chickens are going to find their way back into the garage, which they already have. But yeah, now one's on my way. But until I can fix the breezeway, they're going to be in here, and it's going to be an issue. But at least I can get it cleaned out pretty easily, as compared to before when I had everything laying all over the place. So I think that's going to be it for me. I will catch you guys next time.